welcome back to Let's Face It. I'm your host, Alicia Brown. Our next guest, the self-proclaimed bad boy of the dating game, Mr. Locario, has been featured on VH1, Fuse, TLC, even the Tyra Banks Show, and Anderson Cooper. What separates him from other relationships gurus is his no-nonsense, realistic approach to the dating game and the game of life. The idea is to give men and women the knowledge, truth, and confidence to understand what they want so they can create the best options for themselves in love and life. And with the holiday season quickly approaching, we look forward to his dating and relationship advice. So please welcome to the studios, Mr. Locario.
Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. How's it going?
Well, I want to just jump right in there. When it comes to dating, what are we doing wrong? And why are we not finding the type of love and relationships that we want?
Well, I mean, what I noticed over the years is that a lot of people kind of, just get with people because they're lonely or because, they want somebody for the moment. But also, too, is that, a lot of people aren't honest with themselves. And by not being honest with yourselves, you're not really going to attract the type of people you really want. So a lot of times people are trying to put up a front. They're trying to, impress certain people, but they're not really being themselves because a lot of people are scared that if they're going to be themselves, that certain people won't accept them. So they'll kind of like tiptoe and kind of fake the funk just to like have people around them. But the thing is that, those type of relationships won't work if you're not really truly being yourself. So the thing is that most people are doing wrong is not being honest with themselves and honest also with the people that they're dealing with. Because when you're really honestly, truly being yourself, that's how you're going to attract those people who actually like you for you. You know what I mean? So many people are trying to find this perfect person or trying to not, get rejected and all these other different things. But it's like, look, you got to first look within and say, okay, what do I want? What do I, want to be around? What do I want to deal with? What's going to make me happy? And then be honest about that. And then you actually find those type of people who want the same things. That's really how it is.
Well, let me ask you this, because that first date, that first approach, we all put our best foot forward. So,
right.
If you're crazy, you're not going to let the person know you're crazy the first date.
Right.
If you're batty, you're not going to show all the skeletons and the worst sides of you. So could you differentiate the difference between, we're trying to put our best foot forward or ways in which we are just not being true to who we are? Because, some people think they are showing their true selves.
Right.
And they're not.
Right. Well, the thing is, it has to be some sort of a balance because, I always say, like, when you're on a first date and you're first getting to know someone, it's okay to let them know that, you're not perfect. You know what I mean? Because they're not perfect. And what happens is that by trying to put on this perfect front, the other person feels they have to put on this. But then if you are the one that's going to say, hey, I kind of do this, I kind of do that, or I'm kind of like this, it makes them a little bit more comfortable to show their true colors. Because it's like, people are scared to sort of be the one to, like, let people know who they are. And the thing is that the balance is important because no one is perfect. So everybody has, like, something going on that's, awesome about them, certain things that's not so awesome. And it's okay to let those things be known so that you seem more natural, you seem more real to the person that you're dating. And then that opens them up to be more real. And then you guys actually start off, seeing the real person and seeing the real you, and you're seeing the real them, so that it also speeds up the process to see if you guys are even compatible with each other. Because what happens is a lot of people, they get together, and then, a couple months down the line, it's like they find out certain things about this person that they don't like. And, it's like, well, you were hiding this from me from all this time, or you were pretending to be this way when you're really that way. So it's okay to really, like, put yourself out there a little bit more to let, people see who you really are, because it also, it helps them to, relax and be themselves also,
Wow. Mr. Locario, this is Danielle, and you're dropping all kinds of nuggets of wisdom already. I also have a question for you as well. You were quoted saying that you became a dating expert by studying the dating game. Why is dating a game, and how do we singles avoid getting played?
Well, the thing is, life in general is a game. So I think people look at the word game as something, negative or deceptive. But the thing is that, the life is a game, and you have different, facets in the game of life. So you have the dating game, you have the job game, you can have the parent game. It's like so many different things that you need to sort of know how to maneuver and strategize to get what you want. So when people even say the term having game, what that means is that you have the skill and strategy to know how to get what you want. So when it comes to the dating game and having game in the dating game, it's the skill and strategy to know how to get what you want in the dating game. You know what I mean? So when we talk about game, it's not about playing games. It's not about, technically like manipulating anyone or having to lie and do all this other stuff, but it's more so what is your skill and your strategy in order to get exactly what you want. So that's what, we mean when we talk about, game. And the thing is, as far as like not getting played, like I was saying earlier, the best way to not get played really is, it comes from the honesty, because you get played when you are, being dishonest. You understand what I'm saying? Because even if somebody tries to, lie to you or deceive you or whatever, that's going to come to light at a certain point, and then you'll just figure out, well, this is not the person that I'm going to connect with, because when you're being truly yourself, you're not going to want to be with that person anyway. Or if that person quote unquote plays you, you're not going to be that upset technically, because you're like, well, this is not the type of person that I really needed in my life anyway, and that will be revealed as they are lying and playing all those like goofy games with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things.
Definitely. I noticed you posted a YouTube video where you told men to stop listening to women about relationship advice, stop trying to be a woman's friend, and also you don't have long conversations with women. Can you elaborate on that for me, please?
Yeah, so I remember I had a video about, when I was telling guys to stop listening to women, because what I mean by that is, when women are giving advice to men on dating, what women are giving men advice on is what women want, but they don't technically tell the guy what women respond to. So a guy might know a girl or have like a woman who's a friend, and he'll be asking her like, hey, what should I do on this date, or what should I do to get this girl? And so what she's saying is technically what she wants, but she's not going to tell him, and some women aren't even aware of this, they're not going to tell the guy is what's going to make the woman want to, be sexual with him, or what's going to turn the woman on generally. You understand? Because women don't technically know what guys who actually know how to turn women on, and guys who are good at, being with women don't really know what those guys are doing. The guys know what they're doing, and the women get a certain feeling. But the women don't. The women have no experience being a man trying to get women in order to give that type of information. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I always use the example of, let's say, for example, if you get a newspaper delivered to your door, right? And someone said to you, hey, can you explain to me the exact process of how that paper got made and delivered to your door? You couldn't really tell me because you don't work at the newspaper plant. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have the knowledge to really give that information. So women don't have the knowledge to tell a man how to attract women. You understand? Because she's not a man attracting women. You know what I mean? So that's where that comes from. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a thing that most people don't understand. And as far as like, the video I was talking about, not having long conversations with women, is that when a man first approaches a woman and talks to her, it's best to keep it short and sweet so that he can, they have their little introduction that, he's letting her know that he's interested and that he would like to see her at a certain point in time so that they can, keep the process going. Because a lot of times when guys have long conversations, they start to get nervous. They start to say a whole bunch of weird stuff that makes them look bad, and then it kind of turns the girl off, instead of having her anticipate, seeing him again if he would have kept it short. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Locario, this is Will. How are you?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. So I'm a guy in my early 40s. Tell me, how different is dating for someone in their 40s than, let's say, in their 20s?
Wow. Well, I mean, it's funny because I actually have clients, that are in their 40s, and what I notice is, for a person around in their 40s, it's a little bit different because the majority of people at that age, they're a little bit more, they're a little bit more interested in actually having something that is more substantial. Like a lot of people in their 20s are kind of like, okay, let's just hook up. Let's just, I see you when I see you, and, hit me up on Twitter or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that fast-paced type of thing. But the thing is that, a person that's a little bit older, you got a job, you got bills to pay, you might have kids, you understand? So you don't really have time to, go through all of that kind of craziness. So I think that, the difference is that the older folks are a little bit more grounded in actually looking for something a little bit more substantial versus the younger crowd that's just more like, okay, let's just hook up and, do what we're going to do today and who knows what's going to happen tomorrow type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's sort of like the different type of thing that I see going on.
Gotcha.
So, Locario, this is Nate.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good.
So I have a question. Now, with the dating sites and, people just being too busy to hit the bars or wherever you go to find a mate. But how do you feel about dating online versus, meeting someone face-to-face?
Yeah, it's interesting because dating online is, I like it. I advocate it, especially if you're a person who is busy, because sometimes you might be too busy to always, kind of go out to different bars or events or clubs or whatever like that, depending on where you're trying to go. So I say that, for online dating, it's good to do. For a man, though, it's a little bit harder for a man to do it because, women get so much attention online that as a man, when you're messaging women online, she's getting like 50, 60, 70 messages a day sometimes, and she might not even see your message. You understand? So, but it's still a helpful thing that you can have on the side, as far as like something else to add to your repertoire of what you're doing with dating. But I do think that as far as meeting people in person, I think there's more of an advantage to do that generally, because when you meet someone in person, you really get to see, them in the flesh. You get to see how they look, how they talk, how they dress, how they act in front of you versus just seeing like a profile and some words, because sometimes, you see these people's pictures and they don't look like how they really look in real life, or they'll say they're a certain way on the profile, but then when you meet them, they're not really like that. So they're not that way. So it's, I think it's more beneficial generally to, meet people in person or, go to like events and bars or parties or whatever to meet people face to face. But I still think that online has its, benefits as far as like something else you can add to what you're already doing, just in case, you don't have enough time to really go out. Or, you might have those couple of weeks where you've been working all day, working all the time, and you don't really have any time to go out. So it's good to supplement that with the online dating. You know what I mean?
Good advice.
Yeah.
I'll have to ponder that one there. But you were quoted as saying that it's your fault. Actually, you wrote a book, a title that it's your fault if you're single.
Yeah.
So, for all of those that say they're tired of being cheated on, lied to, manipulated by other people, what is your response to why it's their fault that they're single?
Well, the thing is, that book is actually for women. It's, it's called It's Your Fault You're Single. And the reason why I say that is because it's more so about teaching women to take more responsibility for their dating lives. And even the reason why a lot of women are getting, or dealing with guys who aren't really good for them or, getting in those type of situations is because a lot of women haven't taken the time to really understand men. You understand? They haven't taken the time to understand what makes a man interested in them, what makes a man want to stay, what makes a man want to just have sex with them and leave. These are things that women don't take too much time to think about. You understand? And the thing is, it's because women have been taught generally just to be passive and expect, their knight in shining armor just to show up, and all they got to do is kind of like, just wait for things to unfold. But the thing is that if you do a little bit of work beforehand to figure out, what men generally are about and also what you're looking for, then you'll have better relationships. And that's what happens a lot, especially with women, is that it's too much of being passive, which makes them, which makes a guy actually, she gets with a guy, she has no idea what he's up to, what he's about, or what he's going to do. But if she understood men, she would sort of see the signs like, okay, this guy, I can tell he's most likely going to be the type that's going to do A, B, and C, or I'm seeing that he's displaying certain type of characteristics that I always see certain type of guys do. And the thing is, everyone's an individual, but the thing is that the more that you date and the more that you study men, the more that you'll see these things and the better choices that you make. The problem is that there's a lot of women who are making bad choices as far as they're choosing guys. Like I was saying with the online dating thing, where they get so many, so much attention from men. It's the same thing in the regular world where women are constantly bombarded by guys who are trying to get with them. Now, the problem is that women just have to learn how to choose better, and then they will actually have a better guy. And that's why I say it's your fault, because you have the options to choose, but you're continuously choosing the wrong guys, and you're continuously choosing the wrong guys because you don't know how to differentiate the guys that's good for you versus the guys who are not good for you. You see what I'm saying? And so
okay, we're going to break this down. I got some questions about that one. I got some sidebars. Okay. Are you single?
Who, me? No, I'm married.
Well, okay. Well, that's good. That's a nice start, because you know the women going to ask. But number two, you are the same gentleman that wrote the book.
Right.
Wasn't it How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
okay.
That's the guy's one.
Exactly. So, taking that information, what is it that women are commonly not taking the time to, learn about these men that they attract but they really don't want?
Right. Well, the thing is, like, I'll give you an example. I had a friend who, she was in her mid-30s, and she wanted to, she was like, I want to get married, I want to have kids and all this other stuff. And so she was in love with this guy who was like, I think he was like 22 or 23, and, they were going out for a year. And I told her, I said, listen, that guy, he's most likely in the stage where he wants to be a player, because they call it the player stage, where guys between like 18, maybe like 29, 30, they want
50.
to go around and, they want to go around and, like have sex with different women and do all and play the field and all the other stuff. So with her situation, I'm like, you're choosing the wrong guy to really try to get some marriage stuff going, because he's most likely not going to be that guy, because he's not at that stage where he wants to do that. You see what I mean? So, and certain women they won't understand that. But it's like she likes him and she's really into him, so she wants to be with him. But that's the thing, is that if you're going to be with him, you have to understand what being with that guy or that type of guy means. You see what I'm saying? And if
Lord
you want something more, you gotta go somewhere else and get it. That's really what it is. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm sitting here like, oh my. I have a question for you as well in reference to what you were just talking about. Now, you gave a lot of examples why women maybe attract the wrong type of man. What would you say to a woman who's interested in finding someone they can have a true connection with? What kind of advice would you give a woman to make sure that she's picking that person who is compatible?
Yes.
Well, I think the first thing that I think most women should understand is that in order to really get a guy who you're compatible with and a guy who is going to connect with you, is that first you have to understand what you want fully first. And I think a lot of women don't know what they want, and it's kind of like it's going to be damn near impossible for you to get that if you don't know what you want, because when these guys come around, then, since you don't know what you want, they're going to be confused, and that confusion is going to turn them off and kind of like send them on their way. They're just going to be like, okay, this girl, she doesn't know what she wants. So let's say, for example, if you actually do know what you want and you know what you're about and what you're looking for, then it's easier for you to narrow that down. And then then when a guy who wants the same thing you want sees you and y'all get together, then that's when stuff can build. So, for example, like that, my friend that I was talking about in the other example, where she wanted, marriage and kids, she needs to say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. And now that she's sure this is what she wants or what she's looking for, then when she's out there dating and talking to different guys will tell you either through their words or their actions what they're about at the time. So if she meets a guy and he's like, look, I'm just trying to hook up, I'm just trying to chill, I'm just trying to hang out, maybe that might not be the guy you want to actually be serious with. Like, if you want to just chill with him 1 day or 2 days, that's cool, but you don't want to try to turn that guy into the guy you want to marry or the guy you want to have kids with because he's not there. But if you meet a guy and he's like, I've been around, I'm actually looking for somebody I want to be with. Because the thing is, I think a lot of women might not, from what the stories they hear, they don't think there's guys out there who actually want, a girlfriend and want a wife. Like, every guy's not out here trying to be a player. You understand? So you can find those guys who, if that's what you want, you can find that same guy who wants the same thing as you. But again, like I said, if you have to figure out what you want first so that it'll be easier for you to attract that guy that wants the same thing that you want. You see? So it starts from you first, which is why why I call it It's Your Fault You're Single, because it starts from you first. So the reason why, most women probably are not getting that is because they don't know what they want, and then if you don't know what you want, you're not going to be able to attract. You see what I mean? So it's that type of thing.
But Mr. Locario, they lie. They lie.
Oh, no, of course. Yeah, a lot of guys lie. Yeah, they do. They do.
So you don't always know between the truth and the lie.
But this is where the game comes in. You understand? Because this is where the skill and the strategy comes in. Because a lot of times, if you actually communicate with a man, like you verbally communicate with him, ask him certain questions, and see and figure out what he's about, you will figure out what he's about. You'll see what he's talking about. You'll see where he's coming from. I think the problem is that a lot of women take men at face value. They think, okay, a guy will say, hey, baby, I really like you, and I just want to be with you and do this and do that. And then she finds out 2 weeks later he's married or something. You know what I mean? Like he has a girl on the side or whatever. And it's because they just been taking the guy at face value. So the thing is, you have to actually ask him questions. You have to, talk to him. You have to see how he responds to certain things, and then you will figure out who that guy really is. Also, too, I think a lot of women don't realize is that how important sexuality is in the equation, meaning that a lot of times the reason why you get so many guys who lie is because they're lying just to try to get to the sex. So a lot of guys will say, I will do and say anything. This is what their mind state is saying. I will do and say anything to get this girl comfortable with me in order to get sex. So they do all these things to get the sex, and then once they have the sex, that's when you sort of see the real person. That's when the real guy comes, the real, who he is comes out sometimes because he's trying to, so I always tell women that, it's beneficial to, not saying you have to just have sex with a dude, like that you just, met or whatever, but what I mean is that you should be only dating guys who you have some sexual chemistry with, and also, bringing that sexual energy there so that once that if you guys have sex or whatever and that's like done and out the way, then you can actually see who this guy really is. So that's another thing you can do. You know what I mean? So it's like a certain different like types of techniques that you can do to sort of figure out the guy. And also that comes along with understanding men and, like I was saying before, figuring out what guys are generally about. And that's the thing that helps you in the long run to actually figure out which guy is best for you. If you can tell if a guy is lying, if he's playing around. Like actually, I had a client who was with this guy. She had a suspicion that he was married, right? So I told her, I said, when you see him next time, all you do is this. You say, hey, listen, I want to know if you have a girl, if you're married, and it's okay if you do. I just want to know. You understand? So she says that to him, and he admits that he has a wife. You understand? So now she knows the truth. So now she knew the truth, but she didn't stay with him. But she did that in order to get the truth out. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying about communication.
Lord have mercy.
So there's different ways to figure out what's going on. You see what I mean? And a lot of times guys lie because they don't feel like they're in a safe space to be honest with you. You understand what I'm saying? They don't feel like they're in a safe space to say, hey, look, I'm digging you. I got a girl, but I'm digging you, because they feel like you're not going to go for that or whatever. And some women might not. But a lot of times guys will lie because, of those things. So if you kind of have the communication and you talk to him and you see what's going on, then you can figure out if the guy's lying instead of wasting time with a guy who might be, lying to you all day. So that type of thing.
Okay. I listened to everything you just said. A lot of it I agree with. I'm there with you. I want to get I have a two-part question. Okay, so let's say you meet somebody, let's say at work, or it's a blind date or whatever. You're going out, the vibe is right, you think you're feeling each other, and it's possibly something you want to look into. Is it ever okay for you to go ahead and have sex on that first date?
Oh, of course. That's if you guys are feeling it, it should happen. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people look at it as, you know, there has to be a time frame and, you know, I can't do it like it's all those rules is out the window because you're both grown people. If you're feeling that, you can make that happen. You understand? So I think actually not having sex, if both of you wanted to do that, you know, is a bad thing because now you're not living in your honesty. You're not being authentic, and that's really the crux of everything. It's like, what do you really want at all times? What are you really about? What's really going on? Because a lot of times, again, the reason why we have such bad relationships is because most of us are doing things that we think we should do versus doing things that we actually want to do based off of who we really are. You understand? So that's what it's really about.
Gotcha.
So, Mr. Locario, if you're the type of person that don't do well with dates or do well in relationships, what is your best advice for that person that's listening?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, someone not doing well in relationships is just really a reflection of them not, you know, doing well within themselves generally, because the relationships that you have with people, you know, is a reflection of the relationships you have with yourself, or the relationship you have with yourself, how you feel about yourself, because for example, if someone is very insecure, you know, if somebody you know, doesn't like themselves, or they you know, they think they're not, you know, they're just not a good person, or, you know, no one will ever love me and all this other stuff, right? What's going to happen is they're going to meet somebody who might like them, you know, at first, but then that insecurity and all those things that they believe about themselves is going to come out. And then what's going to happen is that they're not going to be able to have a relationship with that person just based off of the fact that they don't even feel like they're worthy of being in a relationship with that person. You understand? So sometimes the reason why people are not having good relationships is because they don't feel good themselves. That's really like, because the thing is that if you feel good about yourself, what's going to happen is that you're going to attract somebody who's feeling you and who likes you for who you are, and then that relationship will flourish or will flow. You know what I mean? So it's really about, you know, how you feel about yourself.
Okay.
I'm trying to process all this good information. All right. I do believe in the laws of attraction. I also believe there's just a lot of, that's how I'm going to put it, a lot of counterfeit people. There's lies. They lying. And a lot of them present one thing, but the truth is some people, and a lot of times I think they're not aware of it. You are not emotionally ready for a relationship.
Yes.
Whether you're looking for somebody to complete you, and that's not their job, that's something you need help in other areas to, you know, fix. You know, I think people go into things, want one thing. And so here's my question after I said all of that. What are the common dating mistakes that we're making? And I know just from what you've shared so far, there's differences in the mistakes between men, what they make, and differences in the mistakes that women are making. So could you reiterate or just highlight maybe the top, you know, common things from your experience that each gender is making a mistake when it comes to dating?
Okay. I'll start with the guys. Like, I think one mistake that a lot of guys make, generally, just, you know, overall when it comes to dating and meeting women and everything like that, is a lot of guys first they're looking for validation through the women that they're approaching. So a lot of guys are trying to, you know, feed their ego with how many girls like them, how many numbers they can get, how many dates they can go on, how much sex they can have. And I think that, you know, that kind of hurts the process of actually, you know, enjoying yourself and getting to know somebody. You know what I mean? And another thing, too, that guys, you know, make mistakes on is that when they actually get with a woman that they're really into and, you know, they're first starting dating, is that guys contact or, you know, give the woman way too much attention too soon. And what that does is that a lot of times that can actually turn the woman off, because it's showing that, you know, he might have a little bit of a needy energy going on, or he's showing that he has nothing else to do but call her and text her all day. So that kind of turns the woman off. But he thinks that okay, I gotta, talk to her and get to know her and do all these other different things, because he doesn't really know the way that, the psychology of it when it comes to women and everything like that. You know what I mean? So, like, guys make that mistake a lot of times. And also, being way too nice, that's the thing you always hear, nice guys finish last. And it's not, and the thing is, I always tell about that whole situation, it's not about, because guys they'll say, well, I am a nice guy, I'm a nice person. It's not really about that. What it means is that I actually have it in my book. I have a book called The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men, and I have a chapter on there, and it says, you're not a nice guy, so don't act like one. And what that means is that no guy is actually a nice guy. You're just, you're just yourself. So you're not all the time going to be agreeing with everything a woman is saying. You're not going to always be this super quote-unquote nice guy. It's just an act that guys put on to try to impress women or try to, stand out or whatever. But all I say is just be yourself. And I think the mistake that most guys make is they're trying to be too accommodating, trying to impress the girl too much, instead of just relaxing, being themselves and being who they are, and having the woman see them for them, and then having her choose based off of that. You see what I mean? And I say for women, some of the mistakes that women make is sort of wasting a man's time. And I'll explain this.
Oh, wait a minute.
I like that.
That will.
So starting to feel beat up on.
Right. So the thing is, and the reason why this happens. So what that means is when a woman wastes a man's time, that means this is what I was saying earlier, where a woman doesn't really know what she wants. So you might have a guy who's really into you, who's really feeling you, and because you're not really sure about what you really want in any of those situations, be it just, hanging out with him, getting to know him, having sex or whatever it is, the guy he looks at you and says, well, she's cool, but she seems like she's all over the place, so I can't see her anymore. She's wasting too much of my time. I don't know I don't know how she's going to feel this way or that way. And he already knows he's into you, but the way that you're acting, he's not sure if you're into him, and that to him is like a waste of time. You understand? Because if he's actually looking for something to go down, or he's looking for something to progress, and you're just all over the place, he's not going to be feeling it, and he might move on.
Could you pinpoint what you mean by all over the place, please?
Okay, I'll give you an example. That happened to me actually. I remember I was dating this girl one time, and we were hanging out, everything was cool, we were having a good time, and so we were kissing and getting all touchy feely and everything. And so she was like, hey, I want you to come back to my place or whatever, right? So I was like, all right, cool. But she lived all the way, like, out in Westchester or something. So I was like, all right. So I went to her place, and then we get to the place, and we're, about to do some stuff. And then all of a sudden, she's like, oh, I don't think we should do it and this and this and that, right? So I'm like, oh, my gosh, so I came all the way out here thinking we're going to do something, and now you're flipping it on me, right? And then what happened was, then, later on, like an hour later, I was still at her house, and then she was like, oh, let's just do it. And then, we kissed again, we were about to do it, and then she changes her mind again. You understand? So it's like different things like that, and a lot of women do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So she wasn't really sure or too comfortable to actually do it. Like, it was like she wanted to, but she wasn't too sure. She wanted to make it happen, but she was too scared. So that, again, is her not understanding what she wants and what she really wants, and then now that's wasting my time. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then I never called her again. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. That's what I mean by a woman needs to really know what she wants and what she's about, because that right there, you could be losing, or you could have lost a guy that could have been a good guy for you because you didn't know what you wanted. You understand what I'm saying? So that right there, messes a lot of things up. So. Yeah, so you gotta be careful about that. It's that right there is a
I'm sitting here like, oh my God, what kind of female are you talking about? I don't know any like that. So hopefully
there's a lot. You'd be surprised.
Wow.
You'd be surprised.
I noticed in today's society, there are coaches for everything. Can you explain to our listeners why it's important to have a dating coach?
Well, the thing is, it's what's important about it is that you can get a lot of information and learning a lot of things that probably would have taken you a lifetime to figure out. You understand? Or, you can, because a lot of times the coaches are people who, studied the topic, who've been there, done that. They've made all the mistakes that they don't want you to have to make. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that thing where you get like a cheat sheet or a guide to figure out, okay, what do I need to, know, and what do I need to understand to actually, get the best results and the best, situations for myself. And the thing is that a coach can lead you in the right direction to, to help you get what you want easier and faster. You know what I mean? So that's like the benefits of actually, having a coach. And even just in any field, like, you can have a coach that, as far as like, people do personal training, for example, in the gym, there's certain things that people don't know about fitness and working out that personal trainer knows that can help you actually get into shape faster than if you would have just done it yourself. You see what I mean? So that's like the important part about it.
So how can our listeners find out more about you and keep in contact with you?
They can actually go to my website, MrLocario.com. That's MrLocario.com. Or you can email me at askmrlocario, that's ASK, MrLocario@gmail.com. And also, if you go to my website, you can, for the guys, you can download my free ebook, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. And for the ladies, I have a free audio program called 7 Highly Effective Steps to Finding and Keeping a Man. So you can go to MrLocario.com now and get that for free today. So you can check that out.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Make sure you get that.
That is real good.
Yeah, make sure you get that. It's good.
Yeah,
and I also have a membership program for men and women on my site too, where I do 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating tutorials every month. So you get like a new dating and relationship advice tutorial every month if you join the membership. So you can get that at MrLocario.com, or for the guys, you can go to badboymembership.com to get that also. Yeah.
I like that.
Well, Mr. Locario, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. We really appreciate all of the wealth of knowledge that you've given us. Hopefully we all can enhance our relationships or find love, Alicia.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. I definitely appreciate you guys having me.
All right, now before you click off this video, I need you to do 3 quick things. First, I need you to click the link below to send me your questions, because if you have any questions, I'll answer them in a video. 2, click the link under that to get my free ebook, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. It gives you 10 tips on how to attract beautiful women. And number 3, I want you to click the link under that to go to badboymembership.com, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video tutorials every month. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.